Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Raj Taimur Hassan on the sideline Science Policy Conference on Climate Change. I have with me a very eminent guest who is authority on the subject of climate change. He is Dr. Adil Najam, who is Dean Boston University. Very warm welcome, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Please reflect upon this new normal phenomena of the world, that erratic rainfalls, devastating floods, and heat and cold waves. How you reflect upon this new normal phenomena that the world is witnessing?
We have moved from the age of mitigation to the age of adaptation. And what that means is, till now the story was, please do something, otherwise climate change will happen, right? So people like me kept saying, please do something, climate change is coming. Please do something, climate change is coming. Please do something, climate change is coming. The reality is climate change has come. So it is no longer something that will happen in the future. This is what is happening now. So what we are seeing is the face of climate change of the future. If we still keep not doing anything, the erraticness will increase.
As you said, that the climate change is happening and the world is experiencing. How this climate change is impacting the societies and economies like Pakistan, as Pakistan is no exception?
Actually, Pakistan is not only not an exception, it's the rule. Pakistan is the frontline state of climate change. And the thing is, I don't think you need experts like me to explain to Pakistanis what climate change looks like. If you live in Karachi and if you have seen the heat wave, that's what climate change looks like. If you live in Lahore and you have seen the smog, that's what climate changes look like. If you live in Gilgit and you have seen the floods every year, that's climate change. If you live in Thar and you have been living a constant drought for 7 years, that's what climate change looks like. So the point is, here is what climate change looks like. It looks like all other climate phenomena that we have seen before, right? So there's nothing new about floods or drought or heat. But when climate change happens, it becomes much more erratic. It becomes much more unpredictable. And the impact of that on lives, you don't need experts for. You can ask anyone in Karachi, Lahore what it means. It means schools get closed. It means people get sick. It means people start dying. It means investments can't be made. It is not pretty.
As you know, that the Pakistan is the most vulnerable country to the impacts of climate change. What are those areas that their climate is hitting hard in Pakistan, and the Pakistan and the society and the government must worry about?
So Pakistan is vulnerable and we get lots of indices. I must say, I sometimes worry that sometimes it seems like we are kind of happy that we are the most, because the most seems like we are important. The fact of the matter is, I wish we were not. The fact of the matter is that while there is a lot of vulnerability, there's also a lot of opportunity. You can do things in times of change. But the areas that are most important for us are all related to water. So for Pakistan, climate change is essentially a water issue. And whether it's floods, whether it's drought, whether it's sea level rise, whether it's extreme events, in Pakistan, the face of climate change is water.
And you know that the water is becoming a scare in Pakistan. And how are we going to manage these water resources in Pakistan?
I think that is for Pakistan government and Pakistan intellectuals to decide. No one can come from outside and say do this or do that. Lots of things have to happen. You have to have better policy at government level, but you also have to have more sensible lifestyle choices by ordinary people. Right? I mean, I find it amazing that while on the one hand energy is expensive, we are also amongst the most energy wasteful people in the world. Look at how we build homes and thin windows. While water is scarce, we remain water wasteful also. So in many ways there is a government issue of policy, but there is an even bigger issue of societal change and of people changing their behavior. Unfortunately, I think, and if I can say a tough thing, a lot of us as Pakistanis have left it as sada kam nahi hai. Leave it to the government, they're going to manage it. It's not going to work like that.
As we know that the climate change cannot be avoided, and we must intervene and we must adopt to the changes of climate. For adaptation, what interventions and what measures needed at what level?
Yeah. Climate change cannot be averted, but first of all it can be reduced. So the first thing you have to do is you have to mitigate so that less of it happens. While some of it is nearly certainly going to happen, the question is how much are we going to be hit? So the way to regulate that is through mitigation. Right? So that's thing one. Thing two is how can you adapt? Adaptation essentially is sensible sustainable development. And there we have to look at development policy. What is the type of infrastructure we are making? If we are going to make infrastructure, then let's make it climate resilient. If we are going to make cities, let's make them climate safe. That, I think, is the type of sensible approach to policy that we need.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. Thank you so much. That's all from SDTV.